Okay, so we start off with a review. We're actually going to review a few things also, which is also going to help us to understand 4 and 5. Okay, so do you guys remember that term autotrophs? Remember that? So these things obtain their energy from non-living stuff, like the sun. Okay? I'm all over the place. Where did it go? There we go. So if they get their energy from the sun, we call them photoautotrophs. The word photography, using cameras, is all based upon light, collecting light. Okay? So photoautotrophs capture that light's energy, and then they make something. What do they make? What's the main thing they make from that light energy? Photosynthesis. What does it make? Sugar, food, same thing, food. Sugar is food. Okay? Now, don't be going and get an argument with mom or dad that you just want sugar for dinner, because that's not going to work. That you need all the other good stuff too, right? But for energy, it's getting carbohydrates. Now, you might remember this. This was mentioned real briefly in the past, and all you need to do is know the vocabulary term. Besides photoautotrophs, there's also chemioautotrophs, and they use chemicals to break them down to get their energy or to make even their sugars. Okay? And they can get that, believe it or not, from like iron and sulfur, methane gas at the bottom of the ocean. If you've been lucky enough to go to a really cool hot springs, has anybody been to Yellowstone? I just got to do that last year. It's amazing, right? And the smell, you're smelling bacteria that is and sulfur, the gas, sulfur, and they're getting their energy from those chemicals. But back to photoautotrophs, because those are the ones we really care about. First, this should look a little familiar. The energy that plants and algae and bacteria utilize is light energy, and it absorbs the energy from the visible light spectrum. And you guys kind of remember that? What is it? Roy G. Biv, that's it, right? Red, orange, yellow, blah, 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 right? So, but look at it. So the energy comes in waves, and high energy, things that have more energy, have shorter wavelengths. Do you see that, like the purple and or the violet? And over here, longer. Okay, plants are what color? Green, and algae, same thing. They reflect green, so they don't absorb the energy in that area where the green is. And that's why we see green. Okay? They do absorb energy, though, in this violet blue area and this orange and red area. And the molecule that absorbs it is called chlorophyll. And it's a green pigment because it reflects the other wavelengths. But they also are not always green, right? So yeah, they do, when they decide like they have a big old brain, when they get a stimulus that makes them get ready for winter, right? They're going to get ready to drop their leaves. They're going to go dormant. Now, not all trees. You can turn around. You can see our big, beautiful pine tree. This is more adapted for less water and colder temperatures. Well, they can withstand colder temperatures, so they don't go dormant, okay? And then they stay green and they keep working all year long, or they try, okay? Now, these guys, the broadleafs, those things are going to freeze. They're not adapted for the real cold. So first thing they do is they stop making chlorophyll. They stop trying to do photosynthesis, and the chlorophyll is water soluble. It's hydrophilic. It's a polar molecule, and so it doesn't last long. Kind of like watercolors, right? You can rinse them out real easily in water. They'll fade easily in the light too. So the tree has to constantly be making chlorophyll. When the tree's done for the season, no more chlorophyll. The chlorophyll gets washed away, and what is left behind are these oil-based pigments it has. these are oils, so non-polar, and they're left behind, so we finally get to see these yellows and oranges and reds. They were there the whole time, but they were masked. They were covered up by all the green because there's so much chlorophyll. But I do want to point out that these accessory pigments are also absorbing. Like, look, they don't absorb red if they're red. And they can get some of the energy from green wavelengths. But mostly it's all being reflected. Okay, so this is the organelle that is in plant cells. The leaf cells are full of chloroplasts. Chloroplast is where the photosynthesis takes place. Okay, so we need to remember that. Now, let's look at the chloroplast. There are two parts of it that I want you to know about. One are these thylakoids. These are membrane sacs. So they're made out of double layers of phospholipids. They have proteins, just like the outer membrane of a cell. Okay, it has a double outer membrane too. Okay, but anyway, it has a ton of membrane sacs. Do you see them all? It's a lot of surface area, so that they can do a lot of photosynthesis at the same time. Now there's two parts to photosynthesis. One's the light reactions, and it happens through the membranes of the thylakoids. The other one's called Calvin's cycle, and it happens in what we call the stroma, which is this aqueous fluid, kind of like a cytoplasm or a cytosol. It's full of enzymes, and this major reactions go on to build the sugar. Okay? Now, let's write this down, you guys. Just to practice it, you need to memorize it. Now, you know it. I'll help you realize that if you don't believe me yet. So write down the whole equation. 6 CO2 plus 6 water in the presence of light and chlorophyll will make, what is that? C6H12O6. What is that? And what's the name of the molecule of sugar? Glucose. Plus 6 what? Oxygen. You know plants need what? Carbon dioxide. You know that. You know plants need what? You know they collect light. You know this. And do you know that they make sugars? Do you know they give off oxygen? So it looks scary, but you know it. Okay, maybe you didn't know about the 6s. Okay, but you got to memorize it, and there's lots of patterns. Look at 6, 6. There's a 6 over here, and even the carbon, glucose, C6. Yes?
So, all that together is chlorophyll?
All that, wait, say that again?
All that together is chlorophyll?
No, so the chlorophyll is what's making this green. There are pigment molecules in these membranes. Okay, so you need the chlorophyll to attract the light, and then the plants need carbon dioxide and water, and they'll make the sugar. Okay? Okay, so here's the light reaction. The only thing you need to remember is what is coming in and what's coming out and where it takes place. Okay, that's all you got to know. So let me show you the picture. What comes in, what do plants need, you guys? Carbon dioxide and what? And? Water. Okay, so the molecule coming in is water, and the light is doing what to the water? Oh, somebody get that. Oh.